Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome, and if you are a subscriber, welcome back. So I mentioned in my last video using the Warrior palette that I was gonna do 2 more looks. I wanted to show you guys how this palette is versatile and it's still very wearable every day. I know it's so soon, but I think this has to be like my top 3 in my top 3 for the Juvia's Place palettes, because I love how you can wear for everyday use, and that's gonna be the 3rd video. This video I wanted to show you guys how you can do something really bold and possibly editorial with just this palette. And the first video, if you haven't seen that, I'm going to annotate it so you guys can check that out if this is your first review or first time watching a review of this palette. I'm going to leave timestamps to when this tutorial actually starts, but for those of you who care about when it's restocking, if you didn't get your palette the first time around, this is on Juvia's Place Instagram account, and it says the Warrior palette is going to restock in June or possibly sooner. They're working endlessly on production. The Warrior 2 palette, an all matte palette, I'm already all over that and I'm gonna get it. The Warrior 2 palette, an all matte palette, set to launch in June. The Warrior highlighter palette, set to launch in July. It's in production. And they're saying thank you to all their customers and all that stuff. That all matte palette, I will be buying that. The Warrior highlighter palette, I will also be buying that. I'm gonna be doing a 60s inspired makeup look, so I'm going to zoom all the way in so you guys can see what I'm doing, and all of it is by using the palette. I'm like I did in my last video, I'm going to annotate where what colors that I'm using so you guys will know what's going on. What else did I have to say before I get started? Oh, and if you want to watch the whole entirety of this video, but you're just like, oh my god, why is this so long? You can watch, this is what I do to all YouTube videos, because I like watching all of it, but I'm just like, I don't got time for that. You can watch this video at the speed of 1.5. I think that's what it is. Yeah, 1.5. And you will still understand what I'm saying. It'll be fast forwarded, but you still understand what I'm saying. And you're able to watch the video at the half of the time. So yeah, let us get started. Side note before we get started, when I zoom in, you guys will see this texture I have all over my skin right now. This happens to me when I'm like super stressed. My my apartment got flooded days ago, and I'm just now on the verge or just recuperating from that. It's been a stressful couple of days for me, or maybe a week now, and this happens to me, like my skin flares up like this when I'm really stressed out. My dermatologist told me what it is, but I don't know what it is. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, I flare up and have this, so that's just what it is. I'm not perfect, so we're gonna get into this look. I've talked enough. So the first thing I'm going to do is use a base all over my eyes. And when I say base, I mean an eyeshadow primer. I'm going to do one look on camera. One look on camera, and I'm gonna do my other eye off camera, just so it's easier for me, because I feel like it may take a while and I just don't want you guys to be bored. So the eyeshadow primer that I'm using is from NYX. This is the NYX, what is this called? It's just the eyeshadow base, but it's also a primer. So I'm making sure to leave my eyelids closed, and I'm placing this primer in a way where I want the actual eyeshadow to go on in the exact same shape I want it to go on. That's why I left it like that. So I'm gonna leave my eyes closed until it's like completely dry. Because I don't want to open my eyes and it's gonna crease. So This is one of those bases that is like really thick, and I don't mind it because it takes a while for it to be for it to dry, and that's perfect for me. So I am going in with the color Ahosi, and I'm just going to use a wide brush, and the shadows are so buttery, and I'm just gonna apply this on here. Just the way I applied my base. I had a little brain fart. And then I'm just I'm blending out the very edges of this. And I'm going to carefully trace the line I want, and I'm just putting my pinky on my face, on my cheek, so I can get a precise line. I'm going back in with the brush I used the first time, and I'm just packing it on wherever that brown got to. I don't mind the non-preciseness of that brown, honestly, but you still want it to be just a little clean. If you want, you can go in with a small blending brush like I am. And I'm just so now really carefully, I am gonna fast forward through this part, but really carefully I am going to use a liquid liner. I'm gonna use two liners. I'm gonna use a felt tip to trace it over, but first I'm gonna use this liquid liner. And this one I'm using is from e.l.f. And once that dries, I'm gonna go over the liner and make it thicker. Usually, most of the time people don't want thicker liner, but this, I want it to be thicker as I go, but I'm gonna let it dry so it's not streaky. And the reason why I'm using a felt tip is, you guys see this wrinkled side here? It's because I don't want to pull my eyeliner, because I want to do it in the shape of this here. So my skin here, no matter what I do, whatever liner I use, it's never really straight because my skin there is wrinkled. So I'm just gonna use a felt tip liner to be precise. And now that that's about dried, I'm going to pray for me. I don't want to open my eyes all the way yet because I feel like it's still drying. I don't mind the little mistakes here. I'm gonna fix that a little. I just don't want to try to do anything now because it's still drying and mess everything up, because I feel like that's how you get panda eyes. But I am gonna go do my other eye and I'm just gonna apply my base makeup, and we're going to finish the eye on camera. So I have completed everything I needed to do. I did this eye. I wanted to add false lashes at the bottom, but it was like taking way too long and it was annoying me. And then I used liner to create fake voluminous mascara at the bottom. That was a fail. But I am gonna try to do it much better on this eye so you guys can see the vibe I'm going for. The thing I did off camera was to add the lighter shade, the same shade I have on my lid, in the waterline. I did that off camera because my eyes are really sensitive. I was already crying and I didn't just want to like insert that in the video because it was wasted. It was a wasted clip, so that would have been a wasted clip. So I just did that off camera and I added lashes. They're not like too in your face, they're not too extra, so I really like that. And I know looking straight on, my line doesn't look straight, and that's fine because when I open my eyes, that slight almond oval shape is what I'm going for when I open my eyes. I don't really care what it looks like when my eyes are down. And because I have hooded lids, majority of the liner is hidden when I open my eyes wide like this. So this is why sometimes certain looks does not work on every eye. You just have to be careful. But because I wanted to do this look, I'm just showing you guys what it would look on my eyes. Some eyes are perfect for looks like this. My eyes, not really. So the next thing I'm gonna do so you guys can see how I did this eye is I mixed the color Mino and Cano together to just add a little shadow and dimension where that white liner is so it doesn't look so crazy. And even though I'm going to use liner over it, it matters that I do this. Or if you're like someone that would like to wear a look like this out, and you're not going to do what I did at the bottom here, this is something you can do. But this was just a step I took. So I'm just on the other eye. So I'm just doing it again. Now, let's try, I'm always dropping something. Let's try to make this work. One thing I do love about this Kat Von D liner is it does not take forever for it to dry. And I used on my upper lash and on this eye, I used this Super Fan mascara from Smashbox. This is my first time using it and I really like it. So this mascara is kind of gonna tie in the look. I'm just gonna add as much coats as possible. So now that I'm done with this, I honestly will say, I mean, I'm gonna take my pictures and do all of that with the way I did this makeup, but the bottom eye, besides the mascara, the false liners that I created, for me, that was a fail, but it just goes to show, no matter how good you are at makeup, you still make some mistakes. This is something I've done on someone else before, and I loved the way it came out, but right now, I don't like the way the bottom looks, but I just wish I had just used the mascara by itself or use a bottom lash strip lash. That would have worked really good, but you live and you learn. But this is the look I was going for. And now, honestly, I am not gonna do anything crazy for my lips. I am just gonna use a brown liner and some gloss, and this look is complete. Actually, I'm also gonna add, I'm lying, I'm also gonna add highlighter and blush. Oh my god, that was really loud. I was going to add highlighter, but because this is kind of 60s inspired, I don't want to add any highlighter because you guys already know how the palette is also good for highlighting from the last video I did. So I'm just using this color from Stilazzi. It's a single eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna pop it on my cheekbone or on the apples of my cheek. If you want, you can. I think that will also make it extra dramatic. If I do end up adding liquid lipstick or just red lipstick in general, I will insert a picture so you guys can see what this looks like side by side. And I think that is the end of my video. I really look like I don't match, y'all. See? Turkey neck. Looks a little crazy. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Like I said in the beginning, I am going to post a third video showing you guys how you can just use this palette as an everyday palette. And I really like the way this looks, except from like this little mistake over here. We're not going to talk about that anymore. But I am going to do I'm going to take a picture, or I'm going to take this lip gloss off and add red lipstick, and I'm going to take a picture side by side so you guys can see what that looks like if you decide to do a look like this and amp it up a little bit with red lipstick, and it's going to give it more of a glamorous look, even though this is already kind of glamorous. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye.